Hi, amazing artist. Today I'm going to show you how to make a summertime self-portrait. A self-portrait is a picture of you, and this self-portrait is going to be summer themed. So here is my summertime selfie examples. This one is a summertime selfie of me, but I also did a boy example in the video. But remember that you all look unique and there are many different ways to draw yourselves. The focus or the focal point of our summertime selfies are our sunglasses. So notice that the sunglasses are exaggerated, or they are the biggest thing in the picture. If this was in real life, the sunglasses would probably be too big for these people's heads. But in our artwork, they're an exaggerated part, so they become the main thing in our picture besides ourselves. And inside of the lenses is something that you want to do or see this summer. So I have a picture of Lake Tahoe that I drew, and then for this example I drew colors that would be in a sunset. So it's like a reflection of what you're seeing. So for materials, you'll need a piece of paper to make your self-portrait, and then you'll also need sunglasses. So I've provided a template with 4 different sunglass shapes that you can choose from. You'll need to print this out. It's linked in Seesaw, and it's also linked in this video and in the description of this video. If you can't print, then in the video I will also show you how to make your own pair of sunglasses. So you'll need 2 pieces of paper if you're going to make your own sunglasses. So for your materials, you'll need a piece of paper, the sunglasses template, which has 4 different types that you can choose from. This is linked below the video on YouTube, and it is also in the lesson on Seesaw. You'll need a pencil, a black Sharpie, an eraser, scissors, a glue stick, and then you'll need something to add color with. I'm going to use crayons and markers. So now I'm going to show you how to make your own sunglasses shape if you can't print out the template from online, or if you just want to make your own sunglasses shape. If you're using the template, then you can just skip ahead to the next step. So you'll need another piece of paper, and the first thing we're going to do is fold it in half hamburger style. So I'm going to take this side, fold it up to the top, and match up the corners. Then I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm cutting on the folded line. We only need half of this paper, so you can set the other half aside. Now I'm going to make another fold. We're going to take the shorter side and match it to the other short side. Not folding it the long way, I'm folding it on the shorter side. Now we're going to draw 1 sunglass lens. So it's really important that you make sure your folded side is on the left side. That will be where the middle of the sunglasses are. So when I draw, I want to draw starting on the folded side and making sure that it's on the left. The left starts with an L, and I can make an L with my left hand. I can't make an L with my right hand. So if I were to fold this paper in half, then I would see the part of the glasses that sits on your nose. So that's the first thing I'm going to draw, and I'm making sure it's on the folded side. I'm just going to draw a little curved line and one right below it. Remember, you need to cut this out, so you don't want it to be too close together. Then I'm going to draw my lens shape. So you could do a circle, you could do kind of a U shape with a flatter top, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with a U shape, and then I'm going to make a flatter top. Kind of went up a little bit and I'm going to come down. Sometimes sunglasses have some details on the side that come out. That is the side that would sit over your ear, if we could see that part, but we're not drawing that. Then I'm going to draw the lens. So this is the frame that I'm creating, and inside is the lens shape. So I'm just following the shape and making a smaller U shape and then a flat top here. So now we need to cut this out. When you cut it out, you want to keep it folded. Remember that the middle part of the glasses is on the folded side of the paper, not the open side. So I'm going to use my scissors and start here. Cut around the lens. So when I open this up, I will have a pair of sunglasses, but I need to draw the detail on the other side. So this is what you can do if you can't print out the template from online, or if you want to make your own sunglass shape, and they will fit on your face shape. The first thing I'm going to do is draw inside the sunglass lenses, and I'm going to draw a picture of something I want to do this summer. So I'm going to use the heart-shaped lenses, but you could use any of the 4 lenses that are in the template. So I'm going to just pull off this piece of paper because I don't really need the other part. And I'm going to draw inside the heart shapes. I'm not going to cut this out yet because it would be a little bit hard to color in around the frames if I had cut this out. So I want to leave it as one bigger piece of paper while I'm working on it. I'm going to draw a picture of Lake Tahoe. So I'm going to start with the mountains, and then I'm going to draw the lake, some trees. I also like to go on the boat in Lake Tahoe, so I'm going to draw a little boat floating in the water. Now in the other lens, I'm going to continue that picture. Now that I've finished drawing, I'm going to go ahead and outline this drawing and add some color. I'm also going to color the shape of the sunglasses. So this would be called the sunglass frame. If you're using one of these sunglasses, then you don't really need to color it in because it's already black. I finished drawing my sunglasses with Lake Tahoe inside the lenses as a reflection of what I would be seeing. But here's another example. Let's say I want to use these fun round lenses. Maybe I just want to draw what the sky might look like in the summer. So I could do a sunset kind of sky color. I'm going to use crayons and just kind of do a line kind of going back and forth here. Use that on both sides. Then I will add in some other sunset colors, just kind of overlapping my color so it blends together. So now that my sunglasses are colored in, I can go ahead and cut them out. When you're cutting, you want to carefully cut around the outside of the frame, so around the shape. We're not cutting on the inside and we're not cutting them in half. So I'm going to cut all the way around. As you're cutting, it makes it easier if you can turn your paper as you go. So I'm using my other hand to hold the paper and turn it when I need to turn it. So now that our sunglasses are cut out, I'm going to show you how to create your summertime selfie. So here's one I have started on. I'm going to show you how to do a couple different hairstyles, but notice how the sunglasses are glued in the middle of the paper, and they are a lot bigger than the face and the shoulders. So they are exaggerated. They are the focal point or the focus of our artwork. So first step is we need to find the middle of our paper. To do that, we're going to take one side, we're going to fold it in half like a hamburger style fold. Open it up, and along this middle line is, or along this fold is the middle. I can also fold it in half the other direction to really find the middle point. Now where the two folds intersect, that is the middle. We don't really need these folds, but they just help us find the center of our paper. Now where the center is where the nose is going to go. Also, this is going to be about where you want to glue the middle of the sunglasses. And before I glue them down, I'm going to hold them in place and kind of draw the nose shape. So because our sunglasses are exaggerated, we should draw the rest of our features a lot smaller. So right in the middle between where you see the two sides of the sunglasses is where you're going to draw the nose. The nose can be just a little curved line. You can even show the side of it if you want. You don't have to. I think I'm just going to do a little curve. And I'm drawing this about right on that fold that was the middle of my paper. So I'm going to do a little curve like that for my nose. Then in this space here, about a finger or two, probably about 1 finger down from the nose, we're going to draw the mouth. So I think I'm going to do a little side smile. So I'm going to draw a curve that goes up on one side, then another curved line below it, and I'm going to show the side of the mouth by drawing a curve that's vertical, and a little line in the middle for teeth. So I have my nose, my mouth, and then we're going to draw a U shape about 2 fingers below the mouth. So 2 fingers below, I'm going to do a little dot. That's about where I want the bottom of the chin to be. I'm going to bring them up to the chin line, up to where the glasses are. So I'm going to draw kind of a U shape. And if it looks a little too wide, I can adjust it. I think it does. I'm going to make it a little smaller, a little bit thinner. All right, so I have my nose, mouth, and chin. Now at this point, you could go ahead and glue down your sunglasses so that we can draw the rest and not worry about our glasses moving around the paper. So you can use a glue stick or any kind of glue that you have. If you don't have glue, you could use tape. And we're going to put the glue around the edges of the sunglass shape. And when I glue it down, I want to make sure that it's right above the nose that I drew. And about in the middle of my paper, so I don't want one lens hanging off the paper. If there's any parts that are sticking up, let's add a little more glue to them. All right, so those are my sunglasses glued down. Now let's go ahead and draw the neck. So if we look at this example, the neck lines come down their vertical line, and then we have a curve below it that kind of matches the curve of the chin, or that U shape that we made. So 2 lines that come down, not too thin, not too wide. Then you're gonna make a slightly curved line for the neck shape, and 2 curves that come out to the sides for the shoulders. I got a detail to my shirt, so this would be like a outline of the collar. And then we need to draw the top half. So top half of our head. Your eyes are behind the sunglasses, and your eyebrows probably are too. So we don't need to worry about that, but we do need to draw our hair and the top of our head. So this line where our chin is, we're going to pretend that we're drawing on our sunglasses, but I'm not actually drawing. I'm going to put a little line here that shows where it would be. Where's the rest of the head? And where those lines are, I'm going to draw a rainbow. This is the forehead. If it looks too tall, then you can always erase and try again. That's why it's really important to draw lightly when you do this. So now let's work on hairstyles. On this example, I'll show you how to draw long hair, so hair that is down. On this example, I'm going to show you how to do a shorter hairstyle, so maybe more of a boy example, boy's haircut, and more of a girl's haircut. But remember that there are many different ways that your hair could look, and you want to think about the texture of your hair too. So is it curly? Is it wavy? Is it straight? And what direction does it go in? So I'm drawing a hair shape on top of this forehead line. So my hair, I usually have a part in the middle or kind of to the side. It comes to the side and it comes up. So 2 curved lines. Then I need to show that it comes down below these sunglasses. And it doesn't just stop here. You're going to see your hair about where your neck is. So I'm going to draw another wavy or kind of curvy line. And I'm going to end up erasing some of this that is showing through the hair shape. Now you can draw some lines to show the texture of your hair. So if you had curly hair, you may want to draw lines like this. But my hair isn't too curly, so I'm going to keep my lines a little curvy, but mostly kind of straight, just adding a little curve to them. So there is the longer hair example. Now let's do a shorter hair example. So also behind our sunglasses is our ears. So you don't need to draw the ears, but you do want to show that there's hair on the sides of your head. Not down here probably, unless you have like a longer hairstyle. But the hair isn't just at the top of our head. And that would be a little funny. So the hair also comes a little below this top line of our head. So even if you don't have bangs or hair that is sitting on your forehead, it might look like that if you did. But if you don't, you would still have a hairline. So you can draw kind of a bumpy line going around that rainbow shape a little bit below it. And then above the rainbow shape, you may have some texture. So maybe a zigzag line showing your hair. And then in the middle, you can erase that original line. Maybe your hair comes to the side. So instead of drawing that our first hairline shape, we'll start over. You could do that original forehead or top of the head line. Then maybe you have hair that kind of comes to the side. And it would just come down behind the sunglasses. Some of you have hair that kind of sticks up, so you could show that by drawing some lines. If you have more textured curly hair, then I would draw some more zigzag line shapes showing the texture. Now you may want to add details to your background too. Depending on what you put inside of your sunglasses, you might want to add something about that in the background. So because this is of Lake Tahoe, I might want to write Lake Tahoe somewhere, or maybe I just want to add some water lines as a detail or a pattern in my background. And on this one I wrote Happy Summer. You could also include that if you wanted. Now that I've drawn everything, I'm going to go ahead and outline with a black Sharpie and add some color. I'm going to erase the pencil lines that I don't need. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some color with crayons. Remember, if you're using a crayon or a colored pencil, that you can press down hard to get a dark value, and if you press down lightly, you can get a light value. You can add value to things to make them look a little bit more three-dimensional. So like on the neck here, I'm using a little bit of value shading. I'm making the edges darker and the middle lighter, which gives it more of a 3D or a rounded look. I'm also going to make it darker underneath the chin because there would be a little bit of a shadow there from my chin. So try to add a little bit of value with your coloring materials. My summertime selfie is complete. I've colored in all of my self-portrait. I've colored in my shirt, my hair. I've colored in my skin. I've added the sunglasses. And I've also colored a background. And my background has to do with what's inside my sunglasses, which is the Lake Tahoe. So I made my background kind of a Lake Tahoe pattern with the colors that we see in the water of the lake. When you're coloring your hair, there's usually multiple colors in your hair, even though it might just be blonde, or it might be red, or it might be brown, or even black. You don't just have one color of hair. So I added some tans and some different yellows inside my hair shape to show dimension in my hair. So I'm going to show you an example for darker hair. So let's say you have like a dark brown hair color. I'm using a little bit of black, a darker brown, and regular brown, and I'm going to blend them together. All right, I hope you had fun creating your very own unique summertime selfie. I can't wait to see what you create.